Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of JDP's Question, Wings and Things. This week we have Norm McGillivray. He's the founder from a non-for-profit organisation called Bed Down. He's also from our local town of Coventry. We tend to like the spice in Coventry, so let's see how this boy goes. Norm, Bed Down, how are we today?
Sam, it's great to see you. It's been such a long time. It's great to catch up.
You're from Coventry, my hometown, Norm's hometown as well. What are the odds
I know.
of having two Coventrians not from Birmingham for anyone trying to correct either Norm or myself?
That's right. Giving it up to the Coventry Massive.
Are you ready for question one?
I am. What have I got to do? Tell me.
Take a wing, mate. I can't do that for you, but
Right,
you need
okay.
to.
Let's go for that bad boy. Leslie, if I don't make it home tonight, I really do love you. Okay?
Lovely work, mate. Right, so, Bed Down. Are you able to give us a bit of a backstory behind Bed Down?
That's not a sauce, mate. That's
It's
acid.
like, that's not a knife.
So, Bed Down. I think I'll need to go to bed soon. So, I originally started Bed Down after being made redundant a few years ago. I've nearly spent nearly 8 years in a not-for-profit.
Yep.
Maybe it's a good time for me to start exploding. My own not-for-profit charitable organisation.
Yes.
Homelessness was close to my heart because, cut a very long story short, my dad passed away on the streets of London at the age of 42. He was sleeping rough and homeless. I was 11 years old at the time and helpless to do anything about it. So I wanted to do something here in Australia to help the vulnerable. There's over 8,000 people sleep rough across Australia every night, from things like being attacked, overdoses,
Yes.
suicides, infected wounds, pneumonia, that sort of thing. An average life expectancy, much like my own now I'm getting worried about, is just 47 years of age. And this was unacceptable to me, and I wanted to do something about it. So that's really where the journey for Bed Down started.
Fair play, mate, and you're doing something about it and you continue to push it. No, congrats. How'd you go with that?
Have I got to go for another bite of that?
You went over the button of that, and that's what counts. Right, okay. Number two, mate. What kind of roadblocks is Bed Down encountering from a state-to-state basis? Like what's happening in that respect?
Yeah, look, the biggest roadblock, as we experienced, mate, I think at the end of this, just throwing out a Games of Thrones thing here. If you say Dracarys, mate, or Dracarys, I'm gonna set you alight. Dragonfire, you're over.
It's the way you paused then. You just went.
Yeah, because it got me again. The biggest roadblock that we encounter going through red tape and bureaucracy, because we're quite unique in terms of what we do. So we activate spaces that are busy during the day, left empty and vacant at night time, into pop-up accommodation to provide safety, shelter, security services, and a place for our guests to sleep. Predominantly we're doing this in car parks at the moment. So taking a car park, which is busy during the day as a car park, activating it far out into pop-up accommodation, going through planning and building code compliance is very tricky.
And like you said, the amount of moving parts, that's even got me. The amount of moving parts, the amount of people you got to speak to in that as well.
We're just focused probably on Brisbane and Sydney to begin with, perfect the model before we want to try and
Understood, mate.
take it to other parts of Australia.
Is that all right? No.
No, mate, I'd rather walk on the sun. My nose is running, mate.
Third question coming up, mate. Grab your wing.
Oh, no.
So what has been one of the more profound moments that you've experienced collectively since Bed Down began?
I think there's been quite a lot, to be perfectly honest. I think before we got to be an operational site and the pilot that we ran nearly 12 months ago now, actually, how time flies. Then there was the validation, I guess, from Secure Parking, who are the largest car park operator here in Australia, to say that it was a great idea. That was the validation I got.
Absolutely, mate, yeah.
For the whole process, and I was like, wow, okay, maybe I'm onto something. A couple of most profound moments came during the pilot, and one of our guests, and we refer to people as guests who use our service.
Yes.
Because we want to welcome people in as if they're part of the family or family friend.
Good call.
He came up to us after just a few days, and he said to us, it's the first time I've had a dream in years. And when I heard that, you know, the waterworks started straight away. I had to take myself off into a corner because I just wasn't expecting to hear that. But when I pulled myself together and like composed myself, I was like reflecting on that and thinking, well, someone who's out in the streets every night is not getting into a deep sleep because they're sleeping with the proverbial one eye open, in case of either being attacked or having their belongings stolen. So that was probably one of the most profound things to happen, because it sort of then we were on to something special.
The right thing as well.
Yeah, that's right. And the impact that we would have.
Are you ready for the fourth wing now?
On a wing and a prayer, mate. I'm going to start calling you son of Sam. I don't know about Sam. Far out, man.
Okay, so have a bite. What's the goal of Bed Down? Or what's the evolution scale trajectory over the next 24 months? It's going to be hard given pandemic status.
So the main aim of Bed Down, the main goal or purpose is we believe everyone deserves a bed to sleep in. So no one in 2020 should be having to sleep on the streets, on a bench, in a park or under a bridge. So providing safety, shelter, security and a good night's sleep is the main aim, because a lot of people that, as we just touched on, that sleep rough, don't get a proper night's sleep. That then leads to mental and physical health issues.
A knock-on effect, yeah.
So first and foremost, to provide that as a platform, then linking people into longer term solutions to ultimately, one day, to never be required.
You are looking very, very... You're looking more and more serious as these go on, mate.
I'm trying to stay alive. Oh, is this the last one?
It is.
I think we're going to need to compare our plates at the end of this, Sam.
We can do, and they can cut that bit off.
I saw you as the guru and the sensei of all this, but winging it.
We'll give this one a no.
Oh, come on,
mate!
You are trying to finish me off. You know when it's hot, when you've got a bit of raw chicken and it cooks it straight away for you. That's how hot that sauce is. Yeah. What's going on?
What would you have done differently from the beginning, or even around now?
Probably the last 2 years, literally the last 2 years, this has totally consumed my world. You know, the biggest frustration with Bed Down is, as we were talking about earlier, challenges and roadblocks, is the whole bureaucracy and red tape. That's something I can't even change. I don't think I've changed much, to be perfectly honest. It's been the most rewarding and most challenging time of my life, which, you know, lots of sacrifices, but then with that, lots of rewards. And I think you've got to go through that to give yourself a good foundation to move forward.
Well put, mate. And the fact that you can self-reflect.
That's right.
Sit there as well and go, look, would I have done anything drastically different?
No, you know, I met some amazing people and organisations along the way, and I'll toot your horn on this. You know, Sam and Kieran and many of the guys here at JDP have been super supportive of what we're doing, and I'm thankful for that.
Well put, mate. That actually rounds that fifth question up. That was a nice sentiment there, mate. Definitely. Norm McGillivray, Bed Down. Thank you for making it along, mate, and we will see you this time next week on JDP's Questions, Wings and Things. Thank you. Norm, congrats, mate. That last one.
Can't talk. Got quite tasty towards the end, actually.